So the last video had a robot that was kind of a scatter of orders coming in above and below. This one's going to be the MACD that came with MetaTrader, and it's not going to trade very frequently because I don't want to muck up the screen with my holy grail system here, which is the clinical view of price action, so to speak, or the lack of price action. At the bottom is a histogram of per bar ATR, a ATR of 1, coinciding with the line graph of prices, which is a period of 1. You just have to know where the 1 is, and then you can extrapolate into all sorts of insane. I'm waiting for 295 bars to go by before I pull the trigger. So the cloud traders are waiting for some psychedelic queuing of the horizon. In essence, if you can make uh, looks like well, this is a 100 pip grid, so some of these runs here on the breakout systems, I put the threshold to get in at about, I don't know, looks like about very few pips, maybe 5 pips down here. If I drag this up, my threshold for pulling the trigger starts to go up more. And I could put RSI on there if I wanted, but if you have a non-directional system, which is this is kind of aiming at, because you could take a delta entry here, anything below this threshold, as soon as the robot sees that, after the close of a half hour, he gets in. Now that robot's not going to make $1 zillion, but he has good days and bad days. When the hand-placed tickets that you may place up here because you perceive this is a big selling window, and you're going to capture that just for the kickback to the breakout point, which is originally here. This is just going to, these prices won't mean anything in the future. This still does, right? We haven't taken out the floor here in the half hour, and everybody that's going to get the fuck out or get the fuck in on the hysteria, which would be the limit entry guys. I guess if you're trying to catch a falling knife or stop a rising balloon, this top tick Tommy in volatility, you can treat this just like this is it, right? You get the fuck out because you just broke a giant threshold in volatility, and this is all histogrammic, so you can really dial in the true fractals. Like this top is a big deal. This is a big psychotic moment. Let's face it, when it comes up into this little mini vac here, the rip back is pretty harsh, right? And there's a reason for this giant spike. This too, this is what we call a climax, I think. Now this is the streak. That's only that bar here. So after that, everything dies up. But that's the high water mark of volatility. And why is that such a high water mark? Why is that such a big bar? Because it broke probably when it took this 100 handle out. It probably could be, can't tell here, there's not enough data yet, but that could be some psychotic high from way back. And it's also just better than volume indicators because you can actually place trades based on a threshold of entry here. So I'm sure you can see the scheme. Now that it's spiked up, the trade scheme has to change. Probably got filled on limits here. So the histogram of ATR is something you can backtest this. This is definitely doable. Of course, you still have to have the trade plan that can withstand. You have to have a 50 pip stop to at least make 50 pips here to make it realistic, right? So if you just bought below the 100 yard line and you're just looking to scalp back to the 100 and you see the ATRs down here, so the ATR bots, the breakout bots are looking for the really sweet entries, right? Anything filtered down there. So it's a very deep threshold for them. Anything down in the barrel there, in the super lows, is going to be where people are going to want to get in. Of course, the smart money is but that could be way down the road, right? I kind of want to restart the robot. I got it set to the crew display back open prices only, so it does a very hard move, you know. But I got this spread set at 2, locked at 2 here, which is available on some brokers. I'm assuming a fixed spread. This is the euro dollar. It's most liquid pair. Has the most predictable, so to speak, moments. A half hour, you know, it's just same bullshit every day, but these are giant moves, you know. So if you locked in here and you loaded the wagon, uh, predictably, you know, as we look back in hindsight, but we have to be prepared to do it in advance, of course. We have to set these traps out in front of the market. We have to imagine we could go lower now, right? So we want to buy down here. And if we're making money from the breakout scheme on the half hour bot, I guess that's doable. It's not going to overtrade too much. Um, so this low down here and this deep discount here, it's going to get whipsawed, right? If it gets filled, it's got to take 15 pips off the table. So you don't have these glorious targets on a half hour breakout bot. You know, it looks, but if I go into the, we start it with a 4 hour chart. So this would be a different lifestyle. And here we're going to look for maybe 3 trades a week. 3 amazing 100 pip winners per week on the 4 hour chart. And you're not going to have to babysit these things. They're kind of maybe 150 pip moves, I'm thinking, for the setups. Let's see. I got to get the right template going here, though. Remember which template I used. I think it was this one. This is the histogram of ATR. So there was some high drama here. I don't know what that was. Oh wait, let me just go for every tick now, or something a little bit slower than that. Very crude, but it's fast here. Then we just speed it up. Put this template in. Let's crank this thing up. Oh, yikes. So here, let me zoom out. All right, this is crazy. So that's still too crude, don't you think? Here, let me stop that. I'm going to go for every tick. It's just too jerky looking. It doesn't look right. But look at these drama moves. And look, there's no movement and then explosions, but it's kind of cutting into this giant hole. That great sucking sound. All right. Maybe that's too much. There you go. Okay, so to set the threshold here, you're looking for a move that's going to contain about this much price drama. And if you can get in on the market in 4 hours, that's the trade, really. Nothing too magical there. Explosion in price and then returns back to the doldrums where the market's dead. That 4 hour window down there. And what's your exit point? Well, I'd get out here. Everybody wants to capture maybe this explosion. How would you have done that? You'd have to have some targets that are kind of greedy, you know. It's honestly about this trap. The calm before the storm, when all the breakout bots start to pay out. A little chop here, a little bit of a trap. Not really hitting the 100 pip target, but here definitely hitting the 120 pip target for a moment. But then again, all of the capture the weekly wick capture strategy is to naturally just when you see this bottom, you look forward in time and say, if it ever comes below that, who's not buying it? And it becomes this floor almost to the pip, where you just keep smacking and dicking around here. It's just how it is. And it could still go lower. We could take this out, and then people start buying there. Now the breakout bots. This is Sunday. They're starting to converge on this. But what is the trade for the guy that just wants to be in the market for 8 or 16 hours? 24 hours, 1 week. So if you could afford it, you'd start buying underneath this thing. As soon as the week opens Sunday night, everybody's all excited because it's still going up. The trend is starting to. People think it's going to go like this, and they're ready to ride it. And that fails, and this could be some monthly low or yearly low, who knows. And the bargain hunters come in. They say, I'll give me anything below here, and almost got an engulfment to here, but then of course this lonely wick becomes the turning point. Once again, it's just back and forth. It's like a bad relationship. It's a terrible relationship. You can't count on anybody. And this kind of spike, this one's just nuts, right? A giant vacuum there, and then explodes. Certainly all the breakout bots, even the ones that lost a leg, the hedge bots that have lost a leg here, made it up. Almost 150 if you go wait for that to play out. I don't think I could. Another peak moment where it dies. You can safely say that the ATR right now is low coming into the end of the week. So you want to do things that are safe. That's what they say. Now speed it up. Take us into what's the next trade. I think we need to sell high, buy low. So let's sell above it. We'll just put our next sell bank in here. We'll commit to 150 pip windows. We'll just step way outside on the same thing on the bottom. Anything below there is going to be the buy zone. Just because. Now we're going to rip into the next week. Let's see how fast we can play back. Okay, so it's breaking out. The breakout bots have it. We're looking to take targets on either side. We just got into a hedge. Imagine we're in a symmetrical hedge right now. And we'll just wait to see what happens. If they take us out of the other leg, we'll wait another day. We'll wait till the middle of the week to touch the trade. Meanwhile, I got buy limits down here. We're in a hedge, but we got buy limits down here. Maybe we cashed out of something back to that last known. Now we're looking to yeah, so I can kind of figure that this is low volatility here. This is certainly a threshold. A lot of accumulation from the hedge funds or the hedgers. Okay, something's going to burst here. Looks like we're smacking up into the upper situation. So all the buyers that bought even on Friday re-gobbled that up. Looks like we're going to crush north. Big cash outs are coming. And I'm sure a lot of the money management bots, as soon as the volatility comes above here, they're going to get the fuck out. I wouldn't blame them. Oh, look at this little bonus breakout. Another adding to a long there. Just because, oh, beautiful. Now you're cashing out, cashing out. It's coming in a lonely wick. There's high drama there. All right, it's touching the high of the previous week. Okay, big buyers. And I want to run a column of buy limits down below this wick here now. If we didn't sell up into that blast, and if you didn't cash out into that blast, then you're missing out. Because look, you could pull 35 pip pullbacks coming, maybe more. Let's buy this crush right in here. Well, there you go. Beautiful. So if you're still short from this tag team up here, then, well, now you're buying it back. Cash outs from the, so the ATR bots that I imagine are going to buy this situation here, right? They're gonna put hedges on here, and they're gonna cash out. Boom, they're out. Then they're out. Now they're waiting for another signal. Here's Sunday. Typically, this first signal. Okay, the southern breakout bots are making money now. Crushing down. Money management says get the hell out if you're below here. Start buying below here. So it's very much everybody's making money on that, I suppose, for the moment. Uh-oh, we're going lower. So if you got enough money, but maybe your threshold for buying is this stuff or selling. In other words, if you're going to go the other way and you're going to sell and you're going to buy, you would have got out of that. You would have sold and you would have bought. And what's going on now? So we're just trying to play it back and see what we do. You make the call. Look at the robots nailed that. The fucking hedge bots nailed that for being stupid, blind ambition. Breaking out Sunday night to the downside, up 100 pips. Looks like more punishment coming down. This would be your first cash out. Actually, in the first 8 hours, you're out. Now here comes the limit bots. When they see the big spikes, you know there's a big smart money fill. You know, this is the big crush. Down, down, down. Okay, wait for some quiet bars. We're not getting it, so the limits are filling. We're building a position on default. No market orders. So you don't want to trade market orders unless you're going to think that you didn't have enough money. You didn't put enough on. I'd probably buy at the market after that last bar, and I'd wait to pull the trigger on the market orders if we close down. So I need a heavy down bar to pull the trigger at the market. So I'm getting filled on limits here. Okay, big fill, big fill. The 100-yard line just below. Got to be ready to buy down another 100 pips though. So this is a real. If we look to the left, I'm sure there's some kind of hole we're in. Definitely below this, you know, let's face it, that's kind of like the end of the world. This is a 107. Look at down another 100 pips this week. Big crush. Hey, the breakout bots nailed that. So you're making money from these breakout bots, hopefully a couple bucks. You know, this is the delta, that's the doji. Okay, now you're buying in limits. Now you're loaded the wagon. And your target's got to be, first target's 120 pips, 150 pips. And this is a real stressor. Here comes the limit bots have loaded the wagon on these peak moments of volatility. Oh, another breakout to the downside maybe. Is there anything left? But look at these, they're making money. A little bit. It's kind of scary. I wouldn't want to be selling down into this right now, but like I said, the robots seem to not give a shit. Here's their entry. Here's all the hedge entries on the 4-hour. Wow. Massive limit fill there. That was brutal. So that's what really is the thing that the robot doesn't care. You might care, but the robot, look at this volatility. That's just the wick. That's just the wick range. It's just the amount of volatility per 4 hours just almost hit this threshold. It's getting crazy down here. The whole week's a bloodbath on this euro. Look at this thing. You're going to make 25, 30 pips here on these dead cat bounces within this 4-hour situation. Okay, the whole week looks like a complete smackdown. All the guys that are holding from this entry here, the tipping point before the floor is destroyed. I placed a really good short here on the trend system. Any kind of overbought you're selling, you know, any kind. But now it's going to be a punisher. We might come all the way back to here. Now, if you could have afforded to buy a 200 pip drop and you loaded the wagon here, you bought 1x, now you bought 2x, you're probably going to cash. If you cash everything out here, and your money management systems start to see a climax in 4 hours like this, they're just going to get out. They just did get out. So playing back every tick right now, that's exactly what happened there. There's no way around that. So if you're looking at the weekly view, um, look at this drama of 80 pips here. This is like bam, 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 bam. It's a real torture session. Brutal. It's like green panties. It's brutal. And below here, it's even more brutal, right? When you come down here, imagine we get down to there, but damn. Of course, now we're coming into Sunday again. Are the breakout guys going to take it? Now, the reason why the robots can make more money than a human with a bias is because, well, I guess there could be a bias in your robot, is because you're going to look at that breakout on Sunday and go, well, you know what? Just keep selling, son. It's going down. Can't you see? It's going to a downtrend. Goddamn, shut the fuck up. It's a goddamn downtrend. Yeah, I guess. So if you put another hedge on here, maybe you're going to get the same glorious fucking run like this. Be like, dude, just like that over there. What the fuck's talking? It's a measured move. Come on, man. So this is the doji. This is the continued, I don't know. All right. So if you get that wrong, that's the thing. If you get that wrong, then what are you going to do, right? Get it right, get it wrong. You got that right. It's a Leonard Skinner song, I think. All right, so what do we got? Coming off the floor there, because it's beginning of the week's probably about Monday coming here. Volatility just kicked up. So I think most of the robots that bought the plunge got out on that. Absolutely. I think they're gone on that. They're out. They've had it up to here. This is all they needed. This is 100 pips slam dance. So those kind of systems break out here. Got to take those first 10. Always got to take the first few pips off the table, even on a 4-hour breakout system. Like here, you would have had to take something on this blast. It looks like it can whipping back and go lower now. Let's just torture everybody that has that trade plan running in that scheme with everything stacked in one direction. So the big swing trader is getting paid now. The guy that bought the plunge below this and below this and below this, and he martingaled in, so he bought 1x, then he bought 4x down here, 5 maybe, he built a position under here. All right, so here's the big cash out. Now I got buy limits here, and if you had the sell limits here, you definitely cashed out. But that was the kickback. So kickback, stop hunt, so to speak, which gives you the giantest, the most giantest. You knew that was coming, right? Because there's too many sessions of the small ATR building up. So if that is your threshold, that's how you're making money in 4 hours and 8 hours without any care about. So it's just pressure. Once the market gets tight and goes into a doji indecision mode, then it has to break out and go nuts. Look at this rip. Those doji bots nailed it here. The hedge bots here made so much fucking money. So maybe, I don't know if this is a rule or something, but after a giant move and it pauses, like yikes, right? Is it going to go this way? Or you don't care, because if you have tight stops, you just made 100 pips off of that, right? Now you're buying this carve out into that. And another breakout session. Robots triggered. Non-directional robots are making money now. It looks like a tag back. Took out the low of the week just now. Looks like it's going to rip north. And most people are out there. Wait another 4 hours, and probably everybody's going to get out as soon as we can break possibly this high of the week. This is a new buy zone, new sell zone. That breakout bot's got a little clobbered here if you consider this pullback. But if they had a hedge on, the funny thing is the short side would have made money on that because they got in here and they experienced the sell-off, I think, before the smash up. You kind of watch this thing because you can't tell what happened really. But you do know at the end of the day, you've got a top become a bottom here, just a little micro baby one. Top become a bottom on the 4 hour. It's an itty bitty one. That's how we like it though. We don't like it to be too big sometimes. Can't be too crazy. All right, we got the new week's coming. That was kind of a wash. That was a nothing, a giant doji on the weekly charts now. This 4 hour chart goes good with the weekly. Uh-oh. Looks like it could go either way here. Looks like a bloodbath's about to come. The new high water mark in ATR is now going to be moved up. All the data's been skewed by the volatility and all the high drama moments. The never-ending battle. That's the new high water mark now. Up in the nosebleeds. Looks like there's more punishment to come. Let's zoom out one level. Let's take a big perspective look at how ridiculous this market really truly is. I think this is the most eye-opening view of just how retarded the market seriously is. Looks like it's trying to trade or something. All right, this is very high, and let's go for very low. We'll take all entries below this. So we just got in on something here a few hours ago, it looks like. What was that? Okay, we're making money on the short side, looks like. I can't beat that. So we got this. This is the pending vacuum here, and this is the pending abyss down here, and they're both compelling. We can't go sideways forever in this 100 pip window. Breakout systems on the short side are making money right now. Waiting. Even on this playback, it's waiting. So go get something to eat, come back and see if you're right. You really have to see if you trust your system. Get your Fibonacci tools out on the playback here. See if you're really going the right way. If fibs are lying to you, then you have to take them to the woodshed if they're lying to you. All right. Nothing yet. We're waiting for news, maybe. There's always the kickback, so we always want to have our limits down here. I'd be afraid to sell into this because it looks like it might fill this and it might have to wick down before it goes wicking up. So we're buying right now. I want to buy into this giant thing. And then, of course, we got to be cashing out of something right now because we bought here, so we cashed out because we know there's sellers up there. And we're waiting again for another fill. It's pretty fucking boring. So this is the high of the week so far. ATR-wise, last week has had a psychotic moment. And this is going to be the new target. Always the 100-yard line is going to be the obvious target. We're just waiting. Oh, nice chance to get back in on that trade again. If you're still holding, then you're just going to hold that. But if you took something like 50 pips or 20 pips. Okay, the ATRs are drying out. We actually got a signal to buy or sell here. We could put on a 70% bullish. We could go percentage bullish and a couple. You know, if you don't mind spreading your, so you're not going to get a nice fat win. You're just going to soften your, but it's going to be a smoother ride. So you're not going to be able, it's not going to handle like tight. I just made $1,000. It would be more like I made 700 because look at that. Look at the hedge bots making money now. The non-directional system just paid off again. This is definitely something to have a robot do for you, is to get in on deltas non-directional here. But I'm buying into that. So I definitely have heavy buy orders every 100 pips now. Took out the volatility high of the week. Big buy, big crush. If your targets are set to 120, 150, you're loving this entry here on this breakout system. That's just painfully obvious that that is a real trade. That's a real strategy. Does it always work? No, because if you're looking for 150 pips on these breakouts, you never get it. If it's tuned up to take 100 and 200 pips, that rarely happens. So think about it. Think about it. That rarely happens. Another crusher, another bone crusher down. Oof, nice. But once again, the swing traders have loaded Z-Wagon down here. They load into this box trader. No, it's not human trafficking, but it's just as good. You want the market to close in the box. Got to lock it in here. You got to trap it. Actually, if you draw on the chart, it traps the market. The market literally gets trapped. Here comes the breakout bots. They're stacking up the algos. It's Sunday night. Looks like we're going to take this thing out, crush into here. But that's only because I'm very bullish. But it looks like a complete trap on the wicks. Looking back in time. Low volatility. And the lowest volatility in the beginning of the week. Very kind of tentative. We're always willing to buy in these rectangles. Heavily long. People that are heavily long, they're down 300 pips. If you're down 300 pips in this trade, just hold on. That's hard to do. It's hard to add to it down here, actually. That's why martingale's so tough. It's hard to add on. Okay, everybody's cashing out there. So that was a big win. Everybody liked that one. They gobbled that one up. Irresistible. Wow. Like it never happened. All the way back to here, just like it never happened. Pretty tough. It's tough love trading, son. Now, big sellers in here, and all the people that went long that are counting on it come back to that floor, that's their target. All right, another stack of buy limits coming in for me. I think I'm flat on that trade. Like if I horrifyingly bought into this plunge, wow, you made it back and then some. You're good. So I think I'm going to rest easy this week on this playback. I'm just going to put limits here to buy, limits up here to sell for sure, but what is the expiration? If I bring them out too far to the end of the week, maybe by the end of the week, we're going to be all the way back to the Sunday. Magical Sunday, fall through the floor, that dream trade that made how much? Actually, if you held on all the way to here, it made yourself 400 pips. Oh, I'm getting filled now on my buy limits. I don't mind this trade at all. Okay, cash out of something into this last known structure, low close. A lot of stacking up here, a lot of volatility. Also, here's another one. Let's not forget this one. This is a delta of volatility, so the volatility is drying up, drying up, drying up. Something's going to happen, something's going to happen. There's a little burst here. And then the wheels do come off. That's right, the wheels come off the train. It's like, oof. Look out below. Okay, she's coming back to the floor. Look at this. It's like magic. You gotta love it. Now, that would have been. I'm definitely cashing out. And then, the sellers are coming in here now. They're going to come in hard. I want to sell, cash out, sell, cash out, sell, cash out. That's my dream. No more ATR bots are triggered. They're just riding it. Big sellers up in this high of the week though. I'm gonna put buy limits in now. Sell limits like this. So I'll take either trade. I don't like the breakout trade, I guess. I kind of want to buy this cutback. Yeah, maybe breakout trade here is cool. I don't know. I suppose if I'm long under here, I'm just thinking, geez, just fucking hold on. This looks like it's going to wrap into this, but actually overshoots. Carves out this pocket. No, it's a buy. Sit back. So as you play back the market, you'll notice it's kind of the same ridiculous drama that you can count on. It's like a bad soap opera. Look at this volatility dry up. This whole week has been a very dry, tame, big delta on volatility. And like we suspected, it's coming after that lonely wick. They're hitting my sell limits now. Cutting into this. I put my 2 hour, 4 hour. This is going to be my cash out. If we come back to here, I'm going to go flat. And everything I sold above this. And depending what's layered into that, I definitely think this is going to want to go after this price, which is up here. And all the way back to Sunday. So we've seen this before. We just can't believe it. We're like, really? Yeah. And look, this is the trend, I guess, the perfect trend. You're going to buy pullbacks to the moving average. Everything looks golden. But of course, this train's coming to an end. I'm selling into that. The breakout bots, they got in here and here. Sunday night, they got in the train into the vaccine, into the vacuum. Captured, heavily short now. Kind of white knuckling. Gotta come back to my target, my exit here. So this is gonna look all the time for me. Super tight. Gotta get out of everything up in this. Still selling more and more all the time. Just not worth buying now. I think this was the classic. This is your 618 people that dream about this 618 shitter. 38.6 number. They love that shit. Well, who wants dystopia, right? We want utopian charts. Big buy limit stack here, plus I'm cashing out. I'm cashing out of all my shorts that I took above this. The first thing I noticed about Forex that kind of blew my mind is this closing price is constantly looking back to your lonely wick now. Okay, I'm probably getting out of that trade. This is the 4-hour chart, so I'm probably out of that trade. I'll sit back. I'll put more sell limits in now and more buy limits. This still looks like ripe for the pickings, and I'm just going to hand place this, by the way. I'm talking about just putting in 10K blocks maybe. So you put an iceberg here, say you put 50K down here for the whole week. Expires in a week, set it and forget it. You're sleeping, whatever you're eating, you're drinking, you're doing something stupid. And you look at your phone and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, sure enough, this is a good price. Yeah, 200 fucking pips below where you're at right now is always good. You may not go down there, but if you do, like imagine if you committed to buying 100 pips deep next week here, like this would have been the entry. Here you're committed to selling above here maybe, and uh, if I'm a big buyer in this pocket, okay, I probably took my 50 pips and ran. Maybe I'm still holding some. But realistically, I want to be flat most of the time, waiting for a fill. I feel like flat waiting for a fill is a better psychological situation. I love this buy zone here for the rest of my life, and I love the sell zone here for the rest of my life. So into infinity and beyond. Sweet buy zone. You're just trapping. I'm not looking at this down here, but I can see if you're a delta breakout trader, which I'm not. I'm just looking at this structure saying, oh yeah, if I was short from here, I'd be like, oh, let's just take those 50 pips and run. Let's take 30 pips, take 25. So with a 100 pip grid, we're giving ourselves a lot of room. A lot of room. It's a weekly trade. It's a 4-hour chart. You're not going to make. You can make 20 pips with a 50 pip stop here. I'd focus on that trade actually, because that would be a bad ratio, but a high probability win. So it's okay to put a $5 down to make two. If you could keep doing that all day and be right 80% of the time, would you trade? You know, if you right 100% of the time, you right 90% of the time, but you're still only risking. But you had to take it to risk 30 to make 40, risk 40 to make 40, risk all of these different, and then put them in, kind of a domino theory. So you're going to stack the dominoes for what perception of scenario you believe is coming around the corner. I think this is a scenario. I've seen this before. Looks like people are going to get butt hurt. People are going to get hurt. There's too many people on one side of the ship. This looks like a buy zone here. This will always, I'm short here. I top tick Tommy'd into that. I'm still short from this lonely wick. I can cash out again, another chance to get out, but I'm probably going to buy this, right? I'm going to buy this to make 40 pips, whatever. I can see these trades coming a mile away. Okay, I've just made money. Did I make enough? If I had it hardwired to take 40 pips, then that's what I should be doing. I should be taking those 40 pips in those 4 hours, and that's good money. It's a high probability trade because it's the hole we're falling back into. If I want to stretch out and put a trend on it and say, all right, you know what? It's in an uptrend ever since this breakout. The volatility is also drying up. Something big's going to happen. I guess, but you know what? I just want to live here in this 8-hour world. Okay, there's going to be something's going to happen brutal. So let's get buy limits going here and sell limits here and set it and forget it for the rest of the week now. Just don't care. I'm not going to do analysis on this shit. I'm just not going to. I know here, and I'm getting filled on the long side. Or I'm still short above this lonely wick. And I'm waiting to get paid. As soon as we crush down here, I'm a buyer. As soon as we go above here, I'm a seller. It's that simple. Okay, heavy trigger, the most volatility since Hector was a puppy back here. So that took out the fucking almost going after the volatility spike of this. Let's hurry up and get to that. Let's stretch this out into the future now. We got to pay attention. So the future's unwritten as far as volatility goes, but that's a damn climax moment. This crush. And the breakout bots, I'll let the robots trade this breakout shit. I ain't got time for that. But look at this big win from the breakout bots. The ones that are triggered by super low volatility. 3 big winners this week in that strategy. Beautiful. Look at this one. Jesus. Breakout. No, but see, super big buy, super big buy, super big buy below the previous, and you're out. I'm out of that trade now. Now the buy limits start all over again. The sell limit start all over again for me. I want to be flat after this. This is quite the fucking retrace. Looks like we're going to get crushed down again. It's just going to be always a big disappointment. It's going to be a big heartbreak. This is like real life fucking trading. Yeah, I know. It looks like it's going to take this and go to the moon, but it probably going to. Here you go. So you can just rebuy it. Just remarry the same bitch, you know? Just have her wear a wig. That was my buddy's trick. Have her wear a wig. She's like a different girl every time. I love you, but put the wig on, please. Wow, this has been quite the season for the breakout. This week has been breakout bot gold, like breakout here, slam down, breakout there, slam up, breakout here, slam down. I turn off that breakout bot. Those days are numbered, so big buyer below here, big seller above that. Big buy. Big buy. Oh, this is the best. So I rented, I took out a loan, and I got orders sitting down here. Big fucking orders. Millions of dollars of fucking tickets down here. Okay, we're getting long now. Come on in, bring it. So this is a no-brainer trade this week. Sit back and let the money come in, baby. Let's martingale in. So actually, every day that goes by, I'm slightly long now on this little trap. Okay, we got to cash out of something here if it gets up. I'm committed to buying though. I think we're still going to tank. I can feel it, I can smell it. Yeah, you know, it doesn't take much. The market just takes off, you know. It's like a real bitchy wife. It just takes off. It's hit you with a plate out of nowhere. Stop throwing a plate. That's a good plate. Those are a good plate. Stop. She no like to argue. I said, babe, don't argue with me. You know I'm right. You know you're wrong. Hit me in the face. It's bad what you done. It's not good what you done. It's bad what you done. Oh, look at this robot took a trade. Is it making any money? Let me check in with the robot. Oh, look at this beautiful buy zone. Oh shit, I was sleeping at the wheel. We gotta load the wagon on that. We cashed out. So we're cashed out. We loaded the wagon here. We're cashed out. Now we sit on the sidelines waiting to get filled in another stack of buy limits. I've laid them in. This is going to be the undercut we're looking to get in on. I still think we could plunge into this thing. This would be a dream trade. The sleeper sells. The lonely wick cash out. We're over it. Seller, buyer. We're flat weight for fills down here now. So the week paid off before. We still have the dream down here. We are still a big buyer down there. I want that price. But I'm a seller above too. Looks like this could be a nice sell coming in. There's the scalp. Top tick Tommy window. Now I'm going to load the wagon here all week long. Still got the rest of the week. Could be some news coming out. Some bullshit. Spike us down, rip us up, and be out. I'm going to put in 200 pip stops to make 300 pips now. I changed my trade plan. Beautiful short up there. You just made yourself 100 pips in fucking 8 hours. Nice big buys coming in now below this lonely wick. Super big juicy buys here. You can't believe. Took out the high of volatility for the week already. Coming after this one. Huge buy. Oh. Big fat tickets below this. You gotta buy heavy there. And then heavy, and this is where you're gonna call the kids and say, can you bring some money over? Get some suitcases full of money and bring it to my doorstep. If we retest the lows from this Sunday night when Um, the stars were aligned. There's a big dipper in the sky. There was a meteor shower, and there's a blood moon. We need to be prepared to bet the ranch down here. 200 pip stops, 300 pip stops. We're buying, we're buying, we're buying. Oh, took out this. Big buy. Okay, we're in $1 million position. Twin Peaks here. Twin Peaks. Twin Peak bodies all over this one. Major backfill. Brutal. Green panties, man. It's just brutal. So, ATR bots, are they going to be right to sell more into that? I'm a big buyer below here now. Big old buyer. I got 200, 300 pip stops on this trade because the window is 300 pips for buying into. Just nicked the lows. Okay, we're looking for another 50 to 100 pips down. Big buyer here. I just put more money in the account. Huge supply window here. Carving this shit out. Ba-boom. Beat down. Ouch. Here comes the opening of Europe. People can't fucking believe it. Meanwhile, there's a big vacuum on the top stacking up. Deep down. All the way back to Sunday. Buy more, buy all you can buy. Call your neighbors. Phone a friend. Jimmy Bob, get on down here. Got Jimmy Bob bought a bunch down here. He sold his Bitcoin, bought down in here. He's loving it. I told him that $1 going to a fucking moon. Load the wagon, buddy. Right here. You're down 200 pips here. $20 a ticket. It's better than the lottery. Got to buy at the market now. With 300 pip stops. Trying to make 300 pips. Break even 30s. Man, you just had to step in front of this train here. I'm sorry, but this is the truth of trading. You step in front of the train. There's no way around it, man. Oof. Another big buy. So if I'm not, I don't think I'm in big enough. I'm going to put limits in now. If I'm in too big, I probably won't even touch it. So here's the thing. This is kind of manual trading. You saw this was possible, that you would revisit this Sunday night price because it's like magical or something. And there's a giant buy window down here. I don't even know if we've been down there. But what kills people is the fact that we do go down there. That's the killer. People's minds, the heads just come unwrapped. They like the head unscrews off their neck. If we do take that price out. So this is very tentative. People are shitting their pants. And I would say buy more below that. Open another account and start buying below here. Big time. Like sell your car. Okay. This is advice. Sell your car. That's the only advice I'm going to give. Sell your car and put a buy limit. You may not get filled, but if you do, you could buy 2 cars. Think about it. Man, look at that fucking threshold of psychosis up here now. Baby comes unwrapped hard down there. So here's your only entries are these. There's quite a few trades there in the evening on the 4-hour chart. A lot of trades this week here. Wow. She's going to go berserkoid. All the buyers cash out here. We're holding on. We're kind of like finally making money on these entries, right? The first lonely wick has been tagged. I think most of the algos cash out there. Most of the people cash out there. You just took out the high in the volatility for the week. Let's check it and see how if we're making any money. I want to check that out. No, but that's okay. We just want to see this thing go. I'm on the highest speed I think I got. Highest speed I can go. Let's see how it plays out. The battle royale. I think I just crashed it. That's the 4-hour chart, right? Couldn't handle the repaint. Here, I'm going to smash this down. Get more screen depth. It's starting to fill up with data now. It is going lower. Look at that. So we're buying more. And this is a new low. This is where you are kind of in pain, so to speak. I guess you could say. It's painful. Could be. Because you bought that new low. And you didn't think it could go any lower, you know. Another big fallacy of the situation. And look at tag the new, hit the high water mark in volatility. Actually comes into this supply zone here, and there's a serious reaction. Takes out the low of the week. And that is a huge probability that you can cash out to the floor and then some. But once again, unless you're prepared to buy more down here, I'm buying more right now as it pulls back. On that 4-hour chart, that's my trade. If I'm holding a swing trade with a 200 pip stop, which is not likely, well, I would have made my 100 off of this. Dump the rest there maybe. Now I just buy on limits. I don't think there's another choice. Oh, this is a deep discount. Now we have potential. This is going to be the next target. There's a ride into this low possibly. Otherwise, buy more below here. This is going to be another white knuckle experience. Very exciting. Buy more here if you're not in the market yet. Like this is where you're going to, I guess you're going to sell your car to buy here. I've already planned this out in advance. I don't think these breakouts are good for more than 8 hours. Like, it's not like you're getting in this breakout and riding this thing down this tunnel. It's ridiculous. So I just have it down there for fun. In my world, I don't need to look at that. I just look at this guy and go, Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened there? Like this. But this is more dramatic because this happened in 4 hours, boom, where this actually is a bigger move. It just so happens that, okay, now we're cashing out. All the stuff we bought in this hole, we are now cashing out of if you're still holding that trade. This presupposes you run 200 pip stops. $20 a ticket, 10 tickets is 200 bucks. And I'm cashing out of everything here. I'm starting to sell into that actually. I'm going to be good at selling. You just wait and see. Look at this high water mark. Definitely selling into that. Sell, 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 sell. Big ass fucking sells up here. Another sell your car to sell up here. Cars for kids for Forex. Cars for Forex kids. Call 1-800 Forex cars. Big sellers here. Gigundous sellers up in here. We know this for a fact. Fact of life. Okay, now we're gonna buy. Now we're short on that lonely wick. Scalp to here. I'm totally out of this trade. I'm not looking for it. It just nicked a little bit of that. That's good enough for me. Now I feel comfortable going back to sleep and putting in buy limits for the rest of the week. I like to sleep. I'm really getting fond of sleeping. My new sport is sleeping. I just got to get a better bed. My bed is like a bed of nails, but I think I appreciate that in a way better. So here, another buy limit grid, easy drop. Or turn on the buy bot. Buy bot, sell bot. That's another approach. Top becomes the bottom of the 4 hour. People are scalping. Look at this. Just blew out the fucking highs. The biggest move in 4 hours in about 8 weeks here. 10 weeks. Yes, sirree, Bob. This is what we're doing. I understand the trend people. They got a moving average like this, and they say, well, I only buy these pullbacks. No, I buy every pullback, I think. I'm kind of a slut, I think. Or yeah, like a cheap whore. I'm just going to buy every pullback because I just love buying pullbacks. This could end up taking out all these tickets, though. So always be aware of the fact that even though this looks like a good buy, this is 200 pips down before it starts to come back up 200 pips. And it actually nicks the low of the week. Don't forget that. That was like, what the fuck? Really? Like, so it's really, this sideways is trading. In other words, people agree kind of within 100 pips, people agree. And then, structurally speaking, yikes. And after this is all become a 200 pip week of volatility so far. We hit that high water mark. We got to get out the big guns because something's going on. The rest of the week looks like we could come smacking down here and ripping. Do you think we're going to take out the high of the week? This could be another thing that you try to test yourself in predicting the market. If you think you're good at predicting the market, that is presupposing you like that idea. But I think buying this, turn on the 8-hour bot. He's getting heavily long for you. Go back to sleep. You wake up. He's scalped a little bit. Does he take out the high of the day? I don't think so. No, I think it might take out the high of the day. Come back to here and that close out the week here, or are we going to close out the week crushing down and taking this out? Okay, the week closed out. We just kind of dead cat bounced it. So we're holding over the weekend. We still have our target here. We know there's sellers here now. All these algos have kicked in and flooded this with sell limits. My robot would be putting sell limits here because this pocket is compelling, and so is this pocket, So let's stay away from the fair value ranging agreement prices that are currently underway, and let's just buy deep and sell deep. Buy deep, sell deep. Let's sit back. and wait for the market to come to us in some type of. And we've got some traps in here to make 5 pips, 8 pips, 13, 21, 34, 55, whatever array, magical array you think is appropriate for the situation. So that's really what, I'm aiming at. Now, the cells are starting to fill, it looks like. My cell block H. The hot chicks are in prison there, and this is the new buy zone. So my buy zone is closer. I mean, it's here's another cell. Reason to sell is this rooftop. So that's all I'm doing, really. It's not. There's no magic. This is lazy trading. Nice sleeper cell here, and then of course we all know if it ever takes out this, Katie bar the door. I'll start buying here on 2-hour basis. 2-hour expiration sitting here. Let's put some sell column up there. We always know this is going to be big ass sell country up there. I just want to catch a Spaswick before the wheels come off. Looks like we're starting to feed on my sell limits. Let's throw some more in. I'm pretty giddy about it. Let's put some big heavy hitters up here. Flood this. Populate this thing with short term. Rest of the week, sell up here. Oh, got filled on that sell. Let's scalp that. Looks like that happened real quick. That's over. That's over and done. Wait a second. Let me stop this. Okay, it's full screen. It's too much data now. Okay, so we're waiting for sells up here, and we're going to buy. Here's our buy zone. I'm going to try to make the expiration. These are the deep, long-lasting, giant tickets here. Super big tickets down there for the rest of the week. Okay, we're getting filled. We got out of something if we sold this little pocket. Okay, now we're long. I like it. Let's hold that. Let's take something off the table here. Let's re-rack it with some buy limits very close to the market now. Those are high probability trades. Okay, so we made about 60 pips if we held on to that buy zone. Clean it up, start over. Now they're coming into my sell tickets. We're selling for 200 pips. We're going to put extra tickets beginning right this because of this supply zone. Let's see. It's going to drift on me because I'm painting on top of the chart that's moving, but there was your entry. That's bookends. Sell. You're short right now. Buy lots and lots here. Buy lots and just tons in here. I'm going to buy like this. Looks like we're going to fall in a hole here. So I like the buy side a lot. There's no way I'm going to sell in it. Even if it goes down, I cannot sell into that. I just cannot do it. I want to be long right now. So if I'm going to buy that 4-hour column, this is about a 60 pip vacuum. That's the 4-hour chart. So when it crushes back, I realize the breakout traders are making money there. The guys that trade breakout. I don't like these trades really. Because, like, you got to get out, you know. Not like you don't have to get out of the other ones, but it seems like here it's like, uh oh, like fucking A, you know. You can't ride it with a swing. This one pays you back in 8 hours. Buy limits again. Okay, so we delete all the tickets or they've expired. We come back, re-rack. Other buy limits, more sell limits. Breakout bots are getting triggered here. They're coming in my sell limits. Sunday night, kind of a wash. Still holding, looking to get filled this week on the short side. I'll put shallow buy limit. Start my buy limit cluster. Going to start right under this shelf. It's the last known undercut. Looking back. The big landscape view. The big picture. This might help you psychologically, especially if you're a long-term trader. You got sell limits in this 200 pip window, and it's not inconceivable the market is going to dip into that window, and the other pack of orders I'm going to set is going to start here in a 200 pip window. This one's a little unique because this will be the sweetest place to get in heavy, whereas the heavy spot getting in is going to be up here. We're getting filled right now because I typically do run buy limits all the time. Big buyer down here. So we're probably in about 80K now. We're dropping X. Ready to buy 3 standard lots down here. But that's not bad. I'll cash everything out on the floor and re-rack it. So I'll get a high turnover. I don't want to hold any of these trades, see, because that's a dead cat bounce already. Heavy buying. Big heavy buyer down there. Just bought more. So if I have if I have 80K there with 200 pip stops, I just bought another 20K, so I have a standard lot now. If I have a grid in there. Some linear grid in there or something. I just sit back and wait for this thing to play out. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do. Just imagine anything's possible, and you certainly want it to come down here, right? This is your plan. Now you're in 120K. Now you might be in 150K here by the end of the week. Maybe 3 standard lots. So you have enough money to buy this. Now you're heavy, and big loading the wagon now. On the long side. Tremendous size tickets down here, and super tremendous down here. Very tremendous entry. We got to cash out of something here, and probably have to dump the whole position if it comes back to here. The entries from here need to cash out here because it'll be too much to ask. We may only make it back to here now. But here's where we prepare to really get in heavy. Short expirations here. Here I'm going to go for, like I said, once again, I'm going to put a lien on my car. I'm going to sell my car temporarily. Super heavy entry. Big time buying there. Probably buying at the market if I don't think I bought enough. I'm probably going to go full retard on that trade. Now I really have to cash, I would say, out of everything here now. If my first entry was here, they'll all be winners. You have to plan for these situations. But don't let the kids use the cars during these trades. Like, if you think there's a volatile week coming up, tell your wife, I think you're going to want to leave the car at home today. Why is that? Well, the repo guy might be coming by, but you should see the chart I'm looking at. You got to see this chart. Honey, sit down. Wait till I show you this chart. It's not like a horoscope chart. It's better. Look at these lonely wick fills. You got to love that. They never filled you on this one, though. It's funny how the market pokes down low. It's coming back, man. Look, it's coming back. You gotta remarry the same bitch. And make up sex from last bad marriage. Wow, just bring it in. Well, the scalpers got the fuck out of that when it came back to this. So you made your 100 pips, right, on dead cat bounce. But if I'm holding it still, now I'm in about 160K, right? Because about 80 here with the 200 pip stop. I bought more. Probably getting a nice pattern there. And Sunday closes, and we're underwater. We're underwater if we didn't get out on this smack back to the floor. Now she's drifting back. This looks like the new Sellersville. Sell, sell, sell. So it just depends which drama you're holding. If you held through this drama here, did you hold through this drama here? Look at that range trading. Another prime example of this is the trend. This is not your friend. This is not your friend. Here's a trend. Here's no friends. Kind of a trend. No friends. No friends. No trendy friends. Still no trendy friends, really. This is all range bullshit. Oh, look at the fill. Look at the fill. Oh, we bought so much. Bye, 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 bye. Honey, I sold the car. Wait till you see the chart, though. You got to see this chart. Darling, when you see the chart, I know you don't like what I'm going to have to tell you. I had to put 500 pip stops at the market and get in today. There, I said it. The repo man should be here in the afternoon. I'm buying so much euro today. This week. We still haven't hit this high water mark, though. Look, we're very close, though. Oof, that is really, I think we just nailed it. We hit the high water mark for volatility in 1 4-hour period again. At 150 pips in 4 hours. Brilliant. Almost 200 pips in 4 hours. Oh my God. We got stopped out of our 80K up here. Now I'm really buying it. Every 4 hours it drops, I'm pulling the trigger. So I bought here, 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 here. I'm using a 500 pip stop now. Okay, I just sold one of my kids on the open market. Honey, you're going to have to go with this old man over here for a couple of weeks. Do whatever he says. I know. That too. Holds, we just got about 16 more hours, babe. We'll get you out. We'll get you out of there. Out of Sing Sing. What happened to that girl, that chick that was over there for The Olympic girl. She's trapped over there. So this is a very difficult trade psychologically. When you have to tell people, that yeah, that car, I had to sell the car. Why is that? Tell us why you had to sell. Well, I'm kind of stubborn about my buy signals. When it's oversold, I just kind of want to load the wagon. Well, actually, I had to sell the wagon to load the wagon. So we had this nice country Squire. We sold it. It was vintage, original equipment. It had 1,000 miles on it. It's the first one I got raped in. I was a kid, very nostalgic. Look at the beat down on this puppy. Oh my God, she's going lower. No worries, we're going to buy more down there. Every 4 hours it drops. I pull the trigger. I just pulled the trigger again, bought more. Plus, I got limit grids down there. Don't forget, I'm buying on limits and I'm buying at the market now. It's very, and now I'm in about 700K, almost $1 million position. Now I'm in eight standard lots. Now I'm in $1 million position. Now I'm in $1.3 million position, but three standard lots just put on there. So it's $1.3 million position. So I'm in the hands of the market. I don't have any control over the position. I committed to buy to this plunge. It's just what I was going to do anyways. I could be wrong. We could just keep tanking. But if I hold on to this trade for another week, this week, and then get out next week, I think I can make a lot of money. Plus, I'll be buying on pullbacks because I'm counting on this trade working out. So I'm actually going to run buy limits for scalps now. And I had to have scalps embedded. 50 pip scalps were embedded into here. So I had 150 pip stops on tickets with 75 pip take targets. So the 75 pip take targets, if they're getting hit right now, I've got to reload the wagon. If there was any scalps built into this, I got to come back. And I'm buying this plunge right now. I have to buy this one at the market unless I did put really tight 30 pip, 40 pip limits in. Looks like we might take out last week's low. So I buy more down here. I know, it seems incredible. I can't resist. So maybe I buy $2 million position down here by the time it's said and done. Pretty heavy there. Now this one I have to scalp about 5 standard lots off this bottom. We will have to take that off the table. In the next 5 bars, if we retrace, try to go after the high, try to go after the Sunday night's close now. Okay, I just sold all my gold bars. I'm buying more euro dollar. They're 200 pips from my 500 pip stop, but I'm buying more with same 500 pip stop, $50 a ticket. Buying on limits, buying at the market. What a meltdown. And this is like about 5 years ago, something. All right, so waiting for this a whole nother week of buying. Now we're waiting to make 500 pips now. We got to make it back to here. And once again, I'm going to buy in pullbacks. We got to get to here and take this out. Always taking the 100 pips. Once we take the 100 pips, we got to reload the wagon. So if we took the 100 here, we reloaded, but we bought more. On this one, we cash out, we come back, buy more. Very difficult psychologically to see this target and think, well, this is, we have to buy more down here because it's an extreme price. There's no way around it. I don't think anybody's going to deny that's not an extreme price. Could you say, well, why don't you just wait and buy down here where it's really low? Well, you don't really know. Besides, you would have missed this bounce, which was a great trade, this bounce. This is presupposing you want to always be in the market. This 4-hour chart's not bad at all. There's a lot of 100 pip, 200 pip winners here. Okay, so now I'm going to buy more at the market. This will be my last buy. Is right here, this pullback. Now I'm just going to let it go. Now I'm probably going to come in. If I'm not in that big now because I scalped out heavy here and I scalped out here, I'm going to start moving my targets up now to here. We're trying to make 300 pips, and I still have buy limits pending. Oh, I probably cashed out of something there. I was going to take my 100 pips off the table. And then I put buy limits back in, and I put them in really deep. Now I think we could have a ferocious spike down of just 50 pips. One last spike down. And then it's out, lights out for everybody. Big time buy, big time buy. Moved my targets up, never got stopped out of that last one. So moving those targets way up now. This is the glorious retracement target, the big one. This is the first target. A lot of sellers there. And if we had a linear grid in there, we would have bought 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. If we hold the whole thing till here, it'll take us 2 weeks to get paid. Oh, that was a nice cash out. We had a cash out of something there. Buying again, though. And then always a big buyer down here. We want that price too. But it is very difficult because you have to cash out of this. It's not like it's going to go zooming back up like this. There's no fucking way. Once it's crushed below the floor, it takes so much cluster fucking to get back up. It's heavily, it's just prone to cluster fuckage. It is so boring. Well, not if you're shitting your pants here for these giant 100 pip swings out of nowhere. Unsensical. The counter trend trade is as good as the trend trade. The bounce is as good as the down. Except in this instance, it's straight down. Straight down below the floor, just carves this thing out. This like makes mincemeat of that. Oh, big buy. Big juicy buys now. Oh my God. That is the sweetest buy zone in the world. The week's almost over, and one last smash and grab. Probably some bullshit news came out. Thursday jobs report bullshit. Look at that. Oh, the biggest buy in the world. Is that last smash and grab? Oh, now we can go after this. Go after this and all this shit. Not to mention the scalps embedded in that. That is glorious. No matter what's going on, in the next 20 hours, there's a trade for me. If I have 20-hour expirations, if I 1 day tickets, if I put in a 12-hour ticket, give it 12 hours to get there. So you have 3 bars. 12-hour expiration here, 12-hour expiration here. Actually, it's going to look like this. All right. As time goes on. Anyways, that's my rehearsal session.